us get together right down here. Let us get together right down here. Let us get together right down here. Let us get together right down here. Let's have conversation 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 right down here. Let's have peace and justice 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 right down here. Woo. Love and understanding right down here. 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 Let's have wonderful food right down here. Let's have great food right down here. Let's have good food, yeah, right down here. Let's have wonderful food right down here. Yeehaw! Let us get together. Let us get together right down here. 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 Yeehaw!
Good evening, Church in Ocean Park. My name is Gina Frazier, for those that don't know me, and I'm a member of the church in Ocean Park. You may be wondering if you're welcome here, and I am here to assure you that you are welcome here. We are multi-faith. Oh, no, hold on. I knew this was going to happen. That's why I didn't know if I could do this. Hold on. So you are welcome here if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, atheist, or some combination or something else altogether. We welcome you if you're single, married, divorced, gay, transgender, very rich, or living on the edge. We welcome people who are fidgety or very focused, just woke up, or just got out of jail. We don't care if you're more religious than the Pope or haven't been to a mosque since before the pandemic. We welcome soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarian, junk food eaters. We welcome those who are in recovery or still addicted. We welcome you if you're having problems or you woke up soaring on an eagle's wing or some of both. We welcome those who like organized religion and those who are repelled by it. We welcome those who are ink, pierced, or both. We especially welcome you if you are standing in the need of prayer, if you've been hurt by a religious community and are very cautiously, we hope you will find this to be a place of healing. We welcome browsers, trousers, frills, and simplicity. And we especially welcome you. So welcome everyone to the church in Ocean Park. Sorry about that. I think paper would be good.
Hi, good evening. So I'm Janet Gollery McKithen, and I'm the minister here. And I also welcome you. And this is a multi-religious community that's focused on helping to create a more equitable and sustainable world for all people. We want to acknowledge that most of us are sitting on stolen land right now. This land in Santa Monica was taken violently from the Chumash, the Quiche, and the Tongva people. We acknowledge that the harms of genocide, forced assimilation, enslavement, and destruction at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We also acknowledge that our communities and country was built on the backs of people stolen from Africa, placed into bondage, and forced into labor. We acknowledge that we benefit from that labor that has never been repaid. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to healing by helping to create a more just and equitable world. We also acknowledge that we have allowed an authoritarian government to take root in our country, and people are being kidnapped off of our streets and disappeared, and fear is rampant. We also acknowledge that we are responsible for destroying lives and cultures in other countries as well, and our tax dollars are helping to fund the genocide in Gaza. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to healing by helping to create a more just and equitable world. We all have biases, no matter how much anti-bias training you've had. We all have our own perspective and our own lens we come out of. And it takes intentionality to constantly try to tear down those walls and look and hear new people. So you might hear something that you disagree with. You might have already heard something you disagree with. It's okay. You're still just as much a part of the church in Ocean Park as I am. And whatever you have to say is just as important. Even if this is your first time, you've been here 1,000 times, we are all coming from different places. We center ourselves every week with a chant by Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now, 3 times. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. Welcome to potluck at the church in Ocean Park. So during this is going to be mostly discussion. We do have our little parts of ritual that we are doing also, and a few songs. But if you want to go out, get up and get one of those fantastic sandwiches at any moment, or go get a strawberry at any time, feel free to do that. Or if you'd like to write a note of positivity, feel free to do that as well.
So tomorrow is the first night of Rosh Hashanah, which is the beginning of the High Holy Days, the very holiest day in the Jewish calendar. So we're going to mention that. And I want to invite Marty Lieboff up here. He's going to do a special Rosh Hashanah ritual with us. Come on up, Marty.
Yeah, thank you. Janet said it's a potluck, but nobody brought any pot. Well, so far, so good. This is 5786, and traditionally you play the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, and normally it's like 50 or 60 toots, and the cantor will stand here and yell out, Tekiah, and then the shofar player would toot. But I'm not going to make you suffer that much. I'm just going to do one of each of the 4 different toots. The first one's called the Tekiah, and that was traditionally you would call the community together, bring everybody together, and it's usually about 4 seconds with one high note at the end. So you would go Tekiah. The second one is called the Shariam, which is 3 tekiyas in a row. And usually that's when we got to the synagogue, we would start doing that sound. The third major one is called a teruah, and that's like a cavalry charge. We're charging our way through to the new year. The last one is called the Tekiah Golah, or the Grand Katia. And basically, we're like swimming underwater, trying to get to the other side, to the next year. And then we come up, and there's a new day, a new rebirth. Thank you. Happy New Year's. Shayna Cole.
All right, I'd like to share this song by Chris Christopherson, a great writer, great songwriter. It's called Here Comes That Rainbow, and it has a nice story. So here comes that rainbow. And then you can sing too. There's a chorus that you can sing in, and I'll teach that to you when we get to it. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. Two truck drivers drinking their coffee, and two oaky kids by the door. How much are them candies? They asked her. How much have you got? She replied. We've only a penny between us. Them two's for a penny, she lied. Here's the chorus. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder at the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Now sing it with me. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder when the smell of the rain on the wind. I can't hear you. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow. Here comes that rainbow again. That's right. One truck driver called to the waitress after the kids went outside. Them candies ain't two for a penny. What's it to you? She replied. In silence they finished their coffee and got up and nodded goodbye. She called, hey, you left too much money. And guess what? So what's it to you? They replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, with the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Thank you.
Great. So this is a building, a time of building, of being in community together. And so, there's ways to do that where you're just a casual, and we did some of that. And at the church in Ocean Park, if there's something that is suggested that you might do, you'd never have to do it. That's we never ever have to do it. You can do whatever you want, So, but there's some suggestions so that possibly that might facilitate some community building. I am a part of Human Relations Council, and we had a program this week on truth decay. And we talked a lot about how important community is, but I didn't know this I didn't know these statistics that I thought I'd just share really quick, that 35% or 45% of teen girls or teen boys report meeting their new friends are on online gaming. And they elementary kids spend about 4.5 hours a day online. And high school and middle school, it's about 7 hours a day. 48% of teens think social media harms their mental health and have a mostly negative effect on kids. So they think that, but they're still we're all doing it. So bullying, 1 out of 6 school-age children experience bullying or harassment online. And violence, 70% of youth have encountered some form of real-world violence online. So there's a lot of things happening online, and then a lot that's not happening in person. And it's very difficult for kids, and it's difficult for us as adults, because there's a lot of online communities, and some of them are wonderful. I am in some great communities. So I think what we're going to do first is, if you want to, you share on your table for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. It's what kind of communities are you in now? Hopefully you can think of some that are in person, but if not, they could be online, a community. If so, anyway, so like this for 5 minutes, so like at 6:01. There's a clock on that thing. That's how I can tell. There's a clock on there. So
we just share on the table.
share at your own table. And then you can say how community in whatever way you think of it. And you can, introduce yourself, because many of these tables, there's somebody there that we don't know. So, you don't know everybody at your table, maybe. So at least introduce yourself. Okay, and remember, you can do whatever the heck you want, actually. Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, let's just have a little bit of sharing about what you think is important in community. If you wrote something, you can say it, or you can say it even if you didn't write it.
We said a lot. We said it all, man. Okay. Do enjoyable things together. A way to have friends, be social. Support without judgment. Diverse people you may never would have met. Have fun. Welcome anyone who wants to join that community. Respect each other and have shared goals. So.
Great, thanks. Another table?
Oh.
You can have something you wrote, or you can just share what you wrote.
Somebody wrote that.
That's Craig. Craig's coming.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead.
You want me to? Or do you? You go ahead, you do it. You can do it. I can't read that.
I'm sure you can. In reference to community, we recognize that communities come in various sizes. So, two of the things are the recognitions of differences. We learn from each other those differences and are sensitive to, the strengths and weaknesses within these differences. Accept and visualize a cooperative coexistence within community. If people from the outside of that community view us confrontationally, ask the question, well, what did we do to make you an enemy? If indeed there's nothing that you did, then what can we do to heal the rift in that divide? And finally, embrace each other for the vision that we all seem to be looking for. Because most people within the community recognize that there is a coexistence with others who are like you within that community.
Any other table want to share? You don't have to have anything written up there. What did happen at any other table? Oh, gee.
I'll speak. Bob had a good, unless someone else wants to. Bob had a good definition, which I'm going to totally mess it up, but essentially that where people know one another in multiple contexts or multiple, what was the term? Knowing more than one capacity. So for instance, those of us who might be consider Church in Ocean Park our community, and then we're also seeing each other outside of church. We thought that accepting everyone for who they are and making sure that people felt freely to be themselves. Wendy made the great point that that's how someone can really know you. If there's no room to be yourself, how's someone going to know you? Sharing resources, so helping one another. What am I missing? Oh, liking each other helps. Having some sense of affection. And Fred made the great point of, knowing when to not say something. Knowing when to say things and when not to say things. That's also community building.
Great, thanks. You want to pass it to the next? Anybody at that table want to talk? Oh.
That's up.
Yeah.
I think our group, I'll just try to come up with it. I think our group talked about how community helps us learn about other people. And sometimes you think you know someone, but once you learn, more about them, then you find out they're totally different. And that's a good thing.
Bonnie wants to talk. Oh, here you go.
When we were talking, I said having an open heart can be helpful. But it also just occurred to me, working on a project together. Like those of us who helped out at the house next door, I really felt a sense of community. It was wonderful, and still feel a connection with the folks.
That's right. How many have done that? Have worked with a group and you get real close? Yeah. Does anybody want? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Anybody left out? One of the things that we're a community that struggles hard to make change in the community and in the world. We have a lot of new programs. A lot of new actions. I don't know that if you are aware, but in addition to some of the ones that are already happening, we have an ongoing immigration task force that has expanded to now rapid response, and there's a group that makes sandwiches and food for people, and there's a group that goes to the courts to accompany immigrants going to their court hearings, and then there's also the group on working against white Christian nationalism. I got it right? So there's the reason I laugh is because I used to call it white Christian nationalism. And people thought that's not a good group to have. So working against, we put that in the front. That one's beefing up. So if you want to be a part of any of the groups, we also have the Committee for Racial Justice has a couple of other groups, housing and also education and reparations. So if there are any that you are interested, actually on the back of that chalkboard, there's a place to sign up. There's also a sign-up sheet right here that first of all, if you're not on the weekly email and you want to be, you could sign up here, and it tells you what is happening for that week. It just comes out on Wednesdays. And if you want to be a part of any of these other initiatives, you could sign up as well and put that next to your name, because we have a lot of things that are going on, and sometimes people don't find out about what's actually happening. So and our queer collective is actually the one that's so we're going to have a moment of silence, and then we're going to have a song, and we'll move on. So here's a moment to cogitate in silence. If you want to write more things on the chalkboard, feel free.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Hope someday you join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us, and the world will live as one.
All right, well, today we have somebody who's going to be doing bread this evening. First we're going to do bread, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we'll do bread first. We're lucky today because Chaplain Joseph is doing bread. Okay, bread is, what's bread? Bread is, you speak from, one person signs up and they speak from their heart for a couple of minutes and they pass around bread, even if we've just eaten a whole bunch of food.
Most of you know Maureen, who has been here with me since we came together here at church in Ocean Park. She's down here this week, but and I asked her to do bread today since she's here, but she had to visit her sister. And I guess they cooked up a big meal and she's up there, so I have to do bread. Okay. Today, I was home most of the time, and it is, I guess, fortunate, I would say, that service was at 5 instead of 10:15, because I used the 10 until about 3 o'clock listening to the memorial service for Charlie Kirk. So I listened to this service for about 4 hours. I'm a pastor, so if there's a memorial service, no matter where it is from, I look at it, I need to know what is happening, what is going on, how they put together their service, and I learn from different experiences. What would I say about this experience? This service was a politicization of a memorial service. It was a politicization of a memorial service. The main thing that moved me was the wife of Charlie Kirk. When she spoke, of course, she spoke about her husband and the grief and so on, and all of that is expected. She was sincerely in grief and in bereavement. And what she said was what everybody would agree with, I think, but I did. But she said at one point that she would forgive the person who killed or who assassinated her husband. And she quoted the scripture where Jesus said, look down at his crowd there while he was on the cross, and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So she quoted that passage to indicate why she felt she should forgive as well. I have a problem with when people say they forgive in that sense. I have a problem with that. But I think her message was reasonable and in keeping with a person who has experienced immediate grief that was not expected and who has 2 little children to deal with as well in their state of grief. So that was okay. But when she finished, the president came on, and it was clear that the president is not a person who forgives. In fact, he said so. He said he don't believe in that because you have to paraphrase it. To paraphrase it, what he said, you have to get rid of your enemies, and you have to deal with them as and to wipe them out, and all of that. So all of that came out of his speech, and I think it does not build community. It is something that does not. He had the opportunity for this huge service that people in other countries of the world were looking at as well. And he had the opportunity he and the vice president had the opportunity to build, a more compassionate and reasonable outlook from the country. And that did not come out from his or the vice president's speaking at all. So it was highly politicized and from his point of view, and I think that did not sit well. Well, it didn't sit well with what I think should be in a memorial service. You see, so that's what I thought I would mention. Thank you.
This is where we give back to this wonderful place that brought us all together and helped save my life when I got out of drug rehab and found the church in Ocean Park and raised my 2 kids here and now my grandkids. And I give at least $20 a month because that's what I can, and I put the cash, I don't know, they don't have a record of what I give. I just give every month. If I can't, I don't, but this place needs it and it does a lot of good in the world.
Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. For there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light
shine, oh my Lord, for there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Now it may be James or it may be John, or it may be Moses leading the children home, or there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Now it may be me or it may be you, or it may be your brother or your sister too, or there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Let your little light shine, shine, shine. Let your little light shine, oh my Lord. There may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home. Or there may be someone down in the valley trying to get home, trying to get home.
Woo, thank you. All right. Now it's time for announcements.
Let's make a circle, make a circle. Let's make a circle, make a circle. Let's make a circle, make a circle. In 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1.
1.5, yeah. 0.5. Oh, what am I going to do?
All right. Welcome to our circle-ish. Circle-ish. This is our time for joys or concerns. If you have a joy or concern you'd like to share.
I think I'm just in the mood for a little bit of movement, so move away if you need to.
You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your right foot in and you shake it all about. You move the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Woo! You put your left hand in, you put foot out, you put your left foot in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your backside in, you put your backside out, you put your backside in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you put your right hand in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Now you put your whole self in, you put whole self out, surprised you. Whole self in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. You do the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
And now we're going to say carry on. Take a hand next to you if you can, and then raise it up. And when we count at 3, we're going to say carry on. 1, 2, 3. Carry on. If you'd like to take a positive reinforcement or a sandwich, they're both up here.